But don't go too far because the big one, the Men's Open, it'll wrap things up here on day 4.
Down here with Beck Bartlett from the Australian women's team. We spoke after your semi-final performance about this grand final match. You knew New Zealand were going to bring it after what they tossed up yesterday, and they did exactly that.
Yeah, they did. It was a grind the whole game. We were pretty much drawn all the way, but we kept to our game plan. We knew what we had to do that we didn't do in our round games, and we got the result that we wanted.
Now, was that the key message at halftime? You actually found yourself down by 1, probably unfamiliar territory for you guys, but just sticking to that plan in the second half.
Yeah, we just said stick to the game plan and just bring all your mongrel. Just keep going hard. We know that we're a fit team, that we can just keep running. Yeah.
The team overall, great performances, wasn't it? A couple of girls making their debut this week, and for a new-look Aussie team, they just performed on the big stage.
Yeah, the debutantes did very well. I think we had 6 debutantes. Some of them, it's actually the first time putting on the green and gold, so didn't get to go through the youth system with it, and they did the colours so much pride, and they were amazing.
What about your coach, Renee Murphy? She's put that jersey on herself. It must be inspiring to be led by her here, and she's had some great success, and you girls got the job done for her today.
Yeah, love having Nay as our coach. She's just an amazing player and person. She understands the women's game inside and out, and I think that's the support that we need as a team that got us to where we were. And I love that in our Aussie tent we've got all the players from number 1 to what number we're up to now. I think 208 now of women Aussie players, so always looking back on the people that were past and that got us to where we are today.
What about your skipper? Now, you jumped in to fill in as skipper, and a great honour for yourself. She was right in the sub-box on her crutches up there, no doubt leading you guys still from the box.
Oh, yeah, she didn't stop talking. She was loud as Danny is. She just kept us all up. We kept us all positive. Nothing negative comes out of her voice, out of her head. But, yeah, she did amazing just being there with us.
Yeah, congratulations, Beck, and congratulations to you leading the girls to a victory out here this afternoon.
Thank you. Thanks, buddy.
Introducing the New Zealand Men's Open team, captained by George Jervin Burgess, the number 4. Number 1, Nathaniel Turner. 2, Jordan Tuakana Hudson. 3, Matt Sinclair. 5, E4 Jones. 6, Portine Rolls Paiwai. 7, Reihana Finch. 8, Tamatia Wuniana. 9, Jackson Ephraim. 10, Lance Davis. 11, Tamahawkin. 12, Finn Barnett. 13, Tamaropati. 14, Trey Poipi. 15, Francis Morrison. And 16, Ezra Morgan Tapia. New Zealand team are coached by Luke Chapman, with the assistant coaches Joel Fletcher and Matthew Hutchinson. Manager Saskia van Morenberg. Men's Open team, captained by number 6, Dylan Hennessy. Number 1, Mitchell Wilton. 2, Luke Mansour. 3, Peter Norman. 4, Jake Notley. 5, Corey Russell. 7, Chris Lennon. 8, Jack Edwards. 9, Luke Kane. 10, Kyson Boland. 11, Hayden Moffat. 12, Malcolm Kenny. 13, Daniel Langbridge. 14, Bailey Assay. 15, Riley Jones. And 23, Luke Osborne. The Australian Men's Open team are coached by Phil Guymore, with the assistant coaches Jason Boyd and Chris Locke, and manager Tim Bilalva. Please be upstanding if you are able for the national anthems.
A packed grandstand and the ultimate stage. Australia up against New Zealand in the men's gold medal match. Australia will now stare down one of the best spectacles in world sport, New Zealand, to perform their traditional haka. Always a sight to behold, and that really does set the stage now. New Zealand are pumped up for this one. Australia, of course, they are the top dogs. New Zealand will come into this one with a point to prove, a chip on both shoulders, if you will. They were very close in the Trans-Tasman yesterday, going down 9-8. But if there is any team that can mount the ultimate and try and rival this dominant Emus outfit, it is the Touch Blacks. Good afternoon, good morning, no matter where you're watching from. There's no place you'd rather be, right here in Mudgee for the final, the gold medal match in the Men's Open for the Asia Pacific Opens Touch Cup. James Preston and Jackson Mills to take you through it all. What an absolute treat we're in for.
And everyone's up and about here at Mudgee. You can see the Aussies going through the hands, and something really interesting thus far, James. I don't know who is sitting out for the Australians. They've all got their playing kit on, and they haven't yet seen anyone put on the dress shirt. So it's going to be an interesting one here. Playing mind games early on. Different bit of warm-up from the Australians and the Kiwis. The Kiwis all sporadic, all over the park here in Mudgee. The Australians, tight-knit team. You mentioned it was a close one yesterday. Hayden Moffat scoring in the final 60 seconds yesterday on the Anzac Day Test match to send Australia 9 tries up against New Zealand's 8. It went down to the wire, and I think it's going to go down to the wire again today. We saw the efforts of that man on screen. Tamaropati, that double whack off the right foot. He is so dangerous. That footage already going viral on Instagram. And that man with him, E4 Jones, questionably the best player in the world in the present game.
Just taking a look here at the Australian box too, you can see exactly who's put on the training jersey now. So Luke Kane gone, Malcolm Kenny out as well. So they finally revealed their hand. Interesting too as well, because Chris Lennon, we saw him go down with a hamstring injury. It looks like he will still play though.
Mal Kenny's a winger. Australia have 3 wingers. So that means either Luke Mansour or Bailey Assay are going to have to play the full 40 here today. Unless someone subs out for them, they're going to be playing some big minutes here for Australia. So it's an interesting move from Phil Guymore to sit a winger. And a good link at Luke Kane as well, but unfortunately someone does have to sit on the sideline. So as the players...
There, Chris Lennon as well. He'll be one to watch.
Referees 2
Partially, of course, just to ascertain how fit is he, how fresh is he.
Yeah, because we saw him take off from dummy half, get into the end goal yesterday. He did his ham, well, just a little twinge of the hamstring, he said, but Davids as well. In the previous fixture earlier today, we saw him take a knock to the knee and the ankle. I spoke to him post-match. He had ice on his knee, ice on his ankle. I said, are you going to be okay and fit for this game? And he said, only time will tell. Well, he's donning the jersey, the white and black.
We can see there for Davis as well, that left ankle is now heavily strapped, so certainly feeling the pinch. I mentioned the knee too, he took an awful tumble, was clutching at both legs at one point. So a few walking wounded in this one. It's been a long tournament to get to this point in time. They've each played 8 matches on the way here. There's Tiani Bryce as well in the stands, having just picked up her gold medal for Australia.
And it was 2013 on this exact field was the last time New Zealand took home the Trans-Tasman Test match. But this time, it's the Asia Pacific Touch Cup Grand Final match between Australia and New Zealand. They're both amped to get on with this one. And what a day it's been shaping up to. Australia, a dominant performance in the mixed. absolutely putting on a
Okay,
clinic.
players and referees, 30
The
seconds.
women's
Please take
coming
the
down to
field.
the wire. New Zealand leading at half-time. Australia coming back for a victory. So the mixed Australians and the women's opens Australians both coming away with the wins.
And coming into this one, Australia victorious over Lebanon in the semi-final, 14-2. Pretty similar result for New Zealand, 13-2 over the Cook Islands. And for reference, Lebanon then taking out that bronze medal match over the Cook Islands. Led 6-1 at half-time and went on with the job. So now a big task here for the Touch Blacks. They'll get us underway for the final match of the Asia Pacific Opens Touch Cup for 2026. It's been a great display of touch footy. Here we go, the gold medal match in the men's open division. E4 Jones starting on the wing. That's unusual. We'll navigate back towards the middle now. So New Zealand threatening with a trick play now. Rapati with those feet once again. He's dancing already.
Goodness.
E4 Jones now with his unconventional style, the one-handed dummy. Rolls it back. Sinclair then in an acting half as they floated out to this left-hand side. Rolls Paiwai. Then for E4 Jones threatening to bounce. Oh, E4 Jones. Such a good mover. Nearly got around Russell. Back to the 7 he goes once again. Rapati. Not much doing here. Jones will simply kill it away from the Aussie box. That could have easily been penalised as well.
Yeah, bit of a wasted set opening for New Zealand. They came in with Ropati. Australia actually retreating to the line, not giving him the touch on the 7, which he was looking for. So a great tactic from Australia. And a good go forward now for their opening set of 6.
Now Mitch Wilton carting it up over halfway. Mansour, the top try scorer in the men's open division. Short delivery now for Lennon. Oh, yeah, he's still got a bit of a hop and a skip there, but not the conventional one. It's more a bit of a limp that's involved with that hamstring, so he's not 100% fresh, it looks like.
Well, it seems that Osborne's going to be playing a lot of minutes in the link and possibly wing. Because what happens if Lennon goes down, they need a replacement link to be able to come and fill his spot. So it's actually a smart move from the coaching staff as New Zealand now play it 4 metres out from their touchline.
Shifting from right to left and looking to get those fresh troops on board. Ropati once again takes it forward. Oh, David's there with his first touch. It was a questionable one, little bobble, and then flung back to that left-hand side there by Winiana. And we saw this time and time again yesterday with New Zealand attacking down that narrow channel, trying to isolate the link, and they've gone back to the well once again. So now Simbolan, followed up by Osborne. Quick release, and then up towards halfway they go with Wilton. Hennessy just gliding across the surface as ever. Mansour then carts it forward himself. Langbridge drops it down. Last one brought up for the Aussies. Hop and a skip. Jones gets away from them. Bit of space on the outside. Didn't back himself for pace, but in fairness, it was Durban Burgess chasing.
We did see an interesting tactic, as you mentioned, from New Zealand yesterday during the Anzac Day test, where they come back to the middle of the field and then they rip it back to their substitution box and have a player flying forward, making the touch on the defensive Australian link. Then a player would come and pick it up from dummy half and scoop through. We haven't seen it from New Zealand, but with a good roll on now, keep an eye out for that left side of the field.
E4 Jones once again, they go back to this left-hand side, so rinse and repeat. Now Rapati, big step. E4 Jones, he's got them worried, floats it over the top. What a ball from E4, and the Superman finish in the corner is spectacular from Trey Poi Hippie. E4's up and about, and why not? What a try.
And look at Rapati, kick away from Jones, and check out the pass. It's an end-over-end ball, and Hippie goes aerial. And E4 Jones just floating the ball over the top, landing in the perfect position for the New Zealand winger. And how about that finish?
So one try to nil. New Zealand have the lead after 3.5. Lennon now threatening to pull the trigger, sends it wide. They were looking for that little bat back in, but New Zealand with Davids up very quickly, shutting down the space. Also worth pointing out here, Tama Hawken, heavily strapped with that right hand.
So you saw in the first set of Australia, Chris Lennon came on in attack and then came to the substitution box for defence. So it's probably something we're going to see throughout this game. But Lennon now, he's stuck in that left defensive link. And I wonder if New Zealand know that he's carrying a hamstring injury and are going to target him effectively. Because you can see him
there trying
just
to turn.
limping.
Yeah, definitely not moving freely. Now Rapati with the flick pass, one more, and they've got them really cause for concern. Just goes over the head of Barnett in the end, who is finding himself out on the right wing on this occasion. But yeah, look, Lennon, far from being 100%.
Yeah, you can see, and I have a feeling New Zealand are going to target that defensive edge if he is in the link. So Lennon probably going to play a lot of repeat sets in attack on the line, but then come straight to the defensive straight to the sub box in defence.
Now Moffat shifting on here for Simbolan. 4 down for the Aussies. They'll certainly get a look at the line. Simbolan tracking back to the 7. Not quite what we've seen from New Zealand so far, who are happy to go back 20 or so metres. Now Moffat found a great ball back to Simbolan. Tough one to take, but if it stuck, it was a try.
Yeah, chance gone begging there for Australia. I thought Moffat had 2 options. He could have gassed him short side and continued into the in goal. He beat his man. Look at him go, pulling up stumps. So you're right, Simbolan walking over the try line if he reels that one in. And here go New Zealand through the likes of Davis. Well, he looks fresh. He came up with that ankle and knee knock, but now New Zealand shifted back to the left side.
94 Jones once again basketballing it over the top. Now Davids tries the one-handed scoop, didn't get it right. Doesn't go right too often, but it did on that occasion.
Yeah, New Zealand have to ice those moments. You're playing in a grand final against Australia. You have the perfect drive set up for a dummy half, 4-on-3 to pick up and finish that. Davids unfortunately putting it down on that occasion.
Now Jones links up with Langbridge. Jones now taking off, great speed out of acting half, floats a long pass. Not the right option though. They had numbers out the back. Jones just trying to go direct. Mansour was a long way away.
Well, congratulations as well to Luke Mansour, the only member of this men's Opens team on debut for Australia. He's a finisher, so if Mansour gets put under pressure in the corner, he will go aerial as we saw Pohipi in the first try for New Zealand. Man, that was spectacular, wasn't it? And a great way to open the account.
As good as he is at scoring tries, I think he's even better at stopping them. Luke Mansour is massive in that World Cup now. Ropati trying to squeeze through a very narrow gap, but after 6 minutes, New Zealand in front here. Australia haven't really asked too many questions as of yet. Jones to Langbridge. Now short delivery there for Jack Edwards, who carts it up towards halfway. Jones once again out to this left-hand side before Russell gets involved. Now Norman. Haven't seen too much of him so far. Norman, once again, taking off through the middle. Scooped up here from Russell. Threatening to pull the trigger, never did. Lennon was waiting for it in the link.
So what I'm interested to see what New Zealand does next. They've identified that they can break the defensive line of Australia when they run on the field from the substitution box and send it back that way on Australia's defensive right edge. Now, Australia have identified that and are beginning to collapse their defensive line. So I wonder if New Zealand have the ability to now adapt into something new.
Well, under pressure here, still out of acting half. They've got to get the ball away. Eventually, Poihipi does exactly that. Of course, he scored that great try to open this contest. Now, Rapati, watch for the big right foot a couple of times. He's got them on ice skates when he wants. They take off now. Durbin Burgess was still looming in support. Sinclair gets it. E4 Jones trying to find a pass. Was it touched there? The referee says no. You can see Jones, though, pointing. He certainly thought it got fingertips to that ball.
Yeah, E4 was adamant about that. But in New Zealand, doing what they do best, just creating something out of absolutely nothing on that occasion. Australia sitting back, letting them play with the football, but now a good go forward here through Moffat.
Tell you what, every time Lennon comes to the sideline, he looks a little more lame than the last time. And there he is, just stretching out the hamstring once again, so he's really feeling the pinch. Simbolan working with Hennessy through the middle. Hennessy will pick up, short delivery for Simbolan, lovely ball, dug deep into the line. Moffat pushing through, finds a hole. Australia find a leveller. And Hayden Moffat has his 17th try for the tournament.
It's a great line by Simbolan. Check out the 10 in the fluoro orange boots. Gets the ball back quickly off the ground. Great service by Hennessy and Moffat. Lovely direct line there. New Zealand collapsing defence on the short side. Coach won't be too happy with that. But there we go. It's all tied up. 8 minutes played. One apiece.
Durbin Burgess, lovely late switch there for Davids. Bit of space on this right-hand side now. Drops it down. E4 Jones. Clever little scoop and then linking with Davids once again.
Look how deep they are as well. Saw this yesterday. Look how far they pulled that back.
Durbin Burgess dropping it down. Quick release once again. Davids with his speed trying to concern them. Floats it back over the top. A very long pass. Had he hit Durbin Burgess, there was acres of space through that link hole. So remains locked at one apiece. We're approaching the quarter-way mark of this match. Jones with a good carry. As now Langbridge works it forward. E4 Jones, strong touch there. Riley Jones then upfield once again. Lennon moving a little bit freer on that particular run. Norman met with a good, strong touch there. They'll keep it alive. Russell, Lennon stopping on a dime. Jones does a good job.
Yeah, Lennon coming straight from the field. in defence and setting Osborne in. Yeah, he's not doing too well, is he? He's not happy with the feeling of that hamstring. And it just limits the ability of you to step quickly and react fast. It would just be sitting in the back of his mind saying, if I go too hard here, the hamstring could go and I'll be out for the entire game.
Well, I think if he was 100% fresh, that step there on E4 Jones, it works. He gets through.
Now, he's had a few errors of these, Davids. Coming in from the sub box, he's probably just going a little bit too quickly into the Australian defensive line. He's come up with a few errors just within that play the ball. It's Corey Russell getting folded over the sideline.
Now Edwards, then Simbolan, on for Hennessy once again. Back to Jack Edwards. Simbolan late on that first try for Moffat. What can he conjure up on this occasion? Oh, big footwork from Simbolan. Then Hennessy with an unusual looking pass. Nearly got stuck in the midst. Plays it now on the 7. Last one brought up Hennessy, sending it long, lovely ball. Popped back on the inside. Wilton pushing through. Great scramble, though, from New Zealand, who make the touch.
Good setup from Australia as well. And Dylan Hennessy, you'd rarely see him come off the left platform, but threw a nice long ball out to the winger, Bailey Assay, giving him enough time to get behind it and set it up for Mitch Wilton. But great cover defence by New Zealand. And it's Ropati steaming onto the ball now.
Lovely carry from Ropati. And now Turner up over halfway. Barnett hops in at acting half. Quick release. Finding Rolls Paiwai. Now E4 Jones off the left and then sending it wide and long. What a ball from Jones. Oh, attempted put down. Mansour's tracking was excellent, but the pass was forward regardless.
Good setup from New Zealand. They're so good at going forward, and E4, just losing his grip on the ball, just floating forward. But Mansour, either way, great read.
Now Edwards up towards halfway. Lennon testing out that hamstring once again. Jones linking with Langbridge. Last one brought up. Back to Langbridge on this left-hand side. Oh, if he had a little underslide there from Lennon, again, he would have found a gap. And yes, played out there by New Zealand. It was Rolls Paiwai who couldn't help himself.
Oh, that's a killer for New Zealand, gifting Australia a new set of 6. That was 5th and last as well. So you see Lennon, he's sitting in the number 7 left-hand side of Australia's attack with Langbridge.
Jones now drops it down. Langbridge staying alive through the middle. Good touch made from Davids. Certainly no question marks over his fitness here, despite the ankle tape. He still looked very sharp. Jones for Langbridge. Lennon then hopping in and acting half. Quick release back for Jones. Collapses very rapidly. Gets it to ground. Stretches out. And puts Australia in front, 2-1 in the gold medal match.
How good is he? Riley Jones, he's been spectacular all tournament. Look at the composure, just splitting out on the outside of Lennon, cracking off the right foot and hitting the deck. New Zealand know they're nowhere near him as well. And how about the celebration on him? It means a lot to Riley Jones embracing Chris Lennon. How about that for Australia? First time they go up in the grand final, 2 tries to 1. 13 minutes played.
So Jones now with his 7th try of the tournament. E4 Jones himself, though, working it forward. Durban Burgess has been kept under wraps so far by the Aussies. Oh, floating a pass. Speaking of being kept under wraps, that one should have been. Fortunately, either hitting the short men in the form of Ropati or out wide in that link position. It's a terrible turnover, really, for New Zealand as now they march it forward here. Good carry from Jake Notley. Simbolan. Hennessy. Back to Hennessy once again. Threatening, sending it long. Mansour, good footwork as he took it. And then shown the sideline by Finch.
Good go forward by Australia. And touches 1 and 3 were taken both by Corey Russell. He's doing the hard yards for his teammates. Just tucking it under the wing, getting his body out. Hand out in front. He gained about 20, 25 metres in isolation in that last set. So it's not about all who finishes it off. Think about players who are taking it up. Touches 1 and 2, doing the hard yards for the team.
Another poor pass here from New Zealand. So as Durban Burgess last set, that one leaving plenty to be desired as well. You can't keep inviting a team like the Emus up against your line. They will make you pay. No way Finch could reel that one in. It's now Lennon met with big contact there. That was Hawken jamming in. Jones, who got the most recent try. The go-ahead one for Australia. Carts it forward. Followed up by Langbridge. There's a penalty for the Emus as well. Big chance now to go 2 up. 5.5 remaining in this first half. A crucial set for New Zealand here. Can they get the stop? Langbridge delivers for Jones. Takes off to this left-hand side. Jones tracking. Turned away by Hawken, who says, get that out of here.
Getting a bit feisty, the boys. It's a good spectacle. It means a lot to both nations. Very competitive players out there. And why wouldn't you be? You're both representing your countries, and Lennon calling them up.
Lennon once again gets it now. Quick release out wide. New Zealand tracking beautifully, though. Lennon caught through the middle.
It's a good
strong touch as well. Got him off balance. Bouncing around on the 7. Short delivery for Jones. Last one brought up. Back to Lennon. Lennon once again thinking long. Sends it wide. There's the attempted back bat. Not strong enough there. Looking for Jones. It was Poi Hippie applying the pressure. Did a really good job.
Great defence from New Zealand yet again. Holding Australia out. It was a bomb of a pass from Lennon. He's done it twice. And a great read it was by Trey Poi Hippie. He scored in the corner to open New Zealand's account. He's saving tries on the left edge as well. Now Australia threw 2 long balls in 2 consecutive sets, looking for the bat back. So they're looking to throw long and then the ball back on the inside. But now New Zealand back on the attack.
Davids with a good drive, followed up by E4 Jones. Short delivery once again. Look at this backpedaling once more from New Zealand. Jones drops it down. Quick release for Sinclair. Lennon. Well, that was very rapid from him. No issues with the hamstring there. Jamming in, shutting it down. So with about 3.5 remaining in this first half, New Zealand had the early ascendancy, but sort of lost their bearings a touch. Australia have upped the tempo. New Zealand need to go with them. Up over halfway go the Emus now. Norman for Russell, plays it quickly. Back to Russell once again, trying to work over these middles. Space out on this left-hand side. They find Moffat. Moffat then linking there with Norman. Good defence, though, from New Zealand.
The late shot on Russell. That's a great ball out to Moffat. I thought Pete Norman may have been trailing on the inside. And Corey Russell just copping a little bump from Turner. Corey loves the physicality of touch football. So just keep an eye on him. Number 5, Corey Russell. He might look to square up on the Kiwis.
A good driving run here from Winiana. And a short side raid once again. Davids carting it forward, wanting the penalty, getting the penalty. That time a little bit too overzealous from the Emus.
He sold it well, didn't he, Davids? Good contact from both Hennessy and Norman. See, they've been attacking Dylan Hennessy when he's defending in that right link. Every time they go back to that same spot. But check out who they've just brought on. E4, Davids, Ropati. And Ropati is in the perfect position to get an out ball from either Davids or E4 and crack back off that right foot.
So full set to play with now, New Zealand. Ropati up to the 7. Footwork once again, this time off the left. He's a little bit more venomous with that right foot. They can get him out on this right-hand side, cutting back in. Could really cause some issues. Look at them drag it out once again here, though. Winiana drops it down. Oh, and speaking of dropping it down, that's exactly what happened. Separation and a turnover early in the count.
Yeah, Winiana not playing it straight was the call from the referee. So as he comes across laterally, see him play it sideways. I think it's a tough call by the official. Wasn't too overzealous, was it, from New Zealand? As Notley now taking a break.
Plenty of space here for Notley. Eventually shut down. He's bouncing around like a jackrabbit. Wonderful work from Winiana shooting out. Oh, they say he left a little early. So just over a minute remaining. Short side right here from Notley. The touch is just made in time from Barnett. New Zealand was still making a substitution.
I'd love to see a race between Notley and Davids. That'd be some spectacle.
Now for Wilton. Then Simbolan. Simbolan hopping a skip. Oh, Simbolan nearly dancing through them. In fact, he did more than nearly get through. He's pumped up. Good honesty from Morgan Tafia, who says, no, I didn't touch him. And then Simbolan was roaring.
He had something to say about it, and so did Hawken. Kai Simbolan, watch his goose step. Bang, straight on the out. Kicks and dives straight at the line. Well, doesn't even need
Try
to
for
dive.
Australia's number 10, Kai
Points at him, lets him know
Simbolan.
about it. Kai Simbolan. He loves the open side quickie, normal quickie, anything static. Kai Simbolan is all over it.
One final chance for New Zealand to hit back in this first half. Of course, they scored first. It's been 3 straight tries here for the Emus. Davids up to the 7. E4 Jones looking back towards Sinclair. Not a good delivery. That's 3 times now in the past 5 minutes it's hit the deck for New Zealand.
Yeah, they've had a few of them, haven't they? The Kiwis, ball going astray, left, right and centre. Yeah, we haven't really seen them get Rapati into the attack of New Zealand yet, have we? As Mansour nearly steps out. Great hands.
So Australia will take a lead into the half-time break. Probably haven't seen the best of either side as of yet. There's a few walking wounded. New Zealand started very strongly, but Australia just gradually grinding them down, sticking to their processes and policies and coming up with the result. Simbolan has probably been the most dangerous so far.
One thing we saw dominate against the Australian defence was New Zealand's attack on that left edge. So when they swung from touches 1 and 2, they'd move it to the middle of the field, then go back to the left and scoop from dummy half. And Durban Burgess, we haven't seen him pick up once from dummy half and get into the backfield, but Simbolan has been in everything, hasn't he? A short ball there to Moffat and cleaning up with one of his own quickies himself. It was a goose step to the outside. We've seen some good passes from E4 Jones. This is a great one from Jones. Linking up nicely with Lennon, cracks back off his right and gets the ball down. Referee says all clear. Look at the reaction from the Australians. Kai Simbolan as well as he skips out and crosses the line. Check him. Look at that. Look at the emotion on his face from Simbolan. You can see how much it means to these players. What a first half it was, James.
Well, Hawkins certainly didn't enjoy that celebration from Simbolan, but the Aussies are enjoying their lead. They're up by 2 at the break, 3-1 in the Men's Open gold medal match. Can the Aussies go on with it? We'll find out very soon in the second half. Welcome back to Mudgee, the last match of what has been a brilliant Asia Pacific Opens Touch Cup. Australia in this Men's Open gold medal match are in the box seat. 3-1 at the break. New Zealand struck
1 minute,
first.
players and referees.
Australia then got into their form, into their groove. Nobody leaving early. Cracking fixture to finish things off here. The Aussies looking to make it 3 from 3 across our mixed women's and men's open divisions.
Yeah, if New Zealand score first here, it's going to do them a lot of confidence. They're a confident side. They build off tries, build off absolute magical pieces of play, which they do. Flick passes between the legs, double crackbacks.
30 seconds, players and referees.
From our favourite stepper, Ropati. He's been quiet in this match, so is Durban Burgess. Let's see if New Zealand can get them back into the attack.
Bruce Lennon, of course, he's been having to play a little bit within himself with that hamstring injury. They've used him cleverly, though, the Emus coaching staff, trying to inject him as they approach the 7, not making him do any of that tough carry work through the middle. Trying to spare him from defence as well. But can the Emus go on with it? 20 minutes away from another gold medal here as Moffat carts it forward. 3-1 as we begin this second half. Norman slowing up the play, delivering for Moffat. Norman back to Moffat. Oh, big right foot step. Nearly cut inside Durban Burgess. Just did enough to make the line, then make the touch. Australia, though, still on the attack here with Russell. Bouncing around. Last one brought up. Lennon threatening to go long. Sends it over the top. Well covered, though, from Barnett. They did have a good chance to pop that back on the inside. I think if he had his time over there, Bailey Assay, he would have done exactly that.
Yeah, sometimes with the speed of the ball coming from Lennon, it's very difficult to get your body behind it and knock it back on the inside. But Barnett, great chase across from New Zealand, got his knees in it and everything. And there's an interesting play early from New Zealand. They're going to take a buddy or two here as fresh substitutes come in to the attacking zone.
Ropati, met there by Russell. Still haven't seen the bulk of that footwork from him so far. Bit of space on the edges now for New Zealand, but Poi Hippie couldn't reel that one back in. Goes over the sideline. And Australia see off that first threat pretty easily overall. So 3-1 the score. Only just over a minute gone in this second half. Bit of tension in the crowd. Not making a great deal of noise. So now Russell carts it upfield. Norman with a good drive as well. Assay then delivering for Hennessy. Simbolan back on deck. He's been the most lethal weapon so far for the Emus. Simbolan still floating about. Long ball over the top instead. Lovely delivery. Assay trying to get there. Pass is called forward.
Jack Edwards with an absolute bullet of a ball. Left to right. I thought it was marginal, the pass. Referee's in a better spot than we are, calling that one forward. But Assay did well to take possession of it and actually get it down for a try if the referee's called it. But New Zealand really need to start completing their sets. Look where he's thrown that from, and it's just landed inside the touchline, and Assay taking good possession, but it's a good touch by Barnett. But New Zealand now back on the attack.
Good carry from Sinclair, then Rapati following it up as well. Jones back into the action. Davids bouncing around. Brings it up over halfway. There's a good drive for New Zealand. Now the scoop from Jones is excellent. Oh, pops a little pass around the corner. Such a clever delivery. It was forward in the end, but have another look at this on the replay. It was magical. Little show and go and then a flick as well.
But it's better driving from New Zealand coming forward, and it's E4 Jones. Yeah, just touch pass, forward pass, pick whichever one you like. But at least they finished it down the other end. Now Australia through Langbridge.
Langbridge finding plenty of open pasture there. Turns it back to the middle for Jones. Lennon scooping here on the last. Short delivery for Jones. Jones then looking for that direct option out wide, but Assay had just crept in a touch. So 3 minutes gone in the second half. Australia have had their chances. Jones with a little bit of a pre-orchestrated move there. Not fully assessing the situation. 3-1 it remains. You still fancy that New Zealand need to be next to score to really make this a contest.
And again, New Zealand, that first touch was on their 7, exactly where they played it. They're so good at touches 3, 4 and 5 when they can get to it. I mean, look at the influx of players here for New Zealand. Durban Burgess dinking around. They need to go forward now through Ropati.
There he is dropping it down. Strong touch there on Ropati. Big right foot step. Oh, beats one, beats two. And had it there. Trying to set up a little move for Morrison. They will get an extra set, though, the Kiwis.
He's so good, isn't he, Ropati? Look at him just kick out off this right foot when he gets the ball back. Winds up, crack. Leaving Jones in the dust, and Osborne just getting his fingertips to it. And here they go again. New Zealand fresh set on the line.
4 minutes gone in the second half. Durban Burgess has come to life a touch. since the resumption of play. He flings it back to the middle. Ropati once again. Oh, how did he hold on to that? It's a big dummy. Somehow wrapped his arm back around the ball before it hit the deck. Durban Burgess backpedaling once again. New Zealand just giving themselves a little bit of space to work with. Jones takes them on. Run away from the ruck itself, so not asking too many questions there. Sinclair through the middle. This is certainly the golden pod, though, for the Touch Blacks. Wrapping around is Ropati, threatening with the footwork once again. Floats it wide. I'll tell you what, had he hit Durban Burgess, there was a genuine chance there from Link.
It's a good defensive set from Australia as well. If they can finish it up the other end and come up with a try, this is really going to hurt New Zealand.
Good carry there from Langbridge. And Hennessy with the follow-up. Russell linking with Norman. They're all backpedaling here, New Zealand, playing zone defence, if you will. And allow the Aussies to set up on the 7 here. Hennessy, then Russell floats it over the top. Assay, catch and pass. Norman pushing through. Well shut down again from New Zealand. And Barnett certainly not happy about something here with Norman. Big disagreement. Barnett quite literally ushering him away.
Yeah, let's see what happened here on the replay. Ropati obviously missed Norman, but I think Barnett was the one that touched him. So he's telling him, I got you, now get back into the defensive line, please. Barnett, he's found himself on the other side of the touchline. Now in the right link, but New Zealand, good go forward. That's what we like to see from Davids.
Great try from Davids. Another one with the follow-up too. Now pick and scoop, but still on the deck. Winiana had to get rid of it.
Geez, there was a few in the ruck there from Australia. I thought the referee may have blown a penalty in favour of New Zealand. Norman, Russell, Moffat were all in there. There's players everywhere. You can see Norman caught in the ruck, but no, fair bump. Play on.
I don't mind that call there because Winiana was the man who engaged him. Didn't have to run directly at him. Tried to get the offside penalty in it. Ended up going against him. Now Simbolan on the last. Delivers short for Lennon. Lennon with a lovely face ball for Edwards. What a ball that was from Lennon. The draw and pass is lovely as well. And Assay will collect another try, increasing the margin here for Australia. He makes it 24 for the tournament.
Oh, that's silky from Australia. It's Wilton, Simbolan and Lennon combined. The perfect splitter move for Lennon. Rips it out to Jack Edwards in the link. And they can't stop Assay crossing the line on that occasion. Now Australia extending the lead, 4-1.
Crucial now that New Zealand get the next try. Can ill afford to go down 5-1, of course. Last match in the Trans-Tasman, 9-8 to the Aussies. New Zealand pushed them all the way. Ropati, once again, dancing with those feet. Gets it out on this right-hand side. Oh, snapped back towards the middle. Nearly beat 2 in the one movement.
Langbridge, great cover defence for Australia. Notley had to pull his corner. The snap of Ropati causing all sorts of chaos for Australia.
Jones now on the last. Floats a lovely ball to Sinclair in that link hole. What a pass that was from E4 Jones. He dug right into the line and then somehow threaded the needle.
Watch his roll on the wrist. See the roll on the wrist on that ball. Takes all the power away from it. So it looks like he's still going to bomb long. But he just rolls the wrist a little bit softer, taking all the pace off the ball. And that's why he's one of the best in the world. E4 Jones.
So 4-2 the score here. They're still alive, New Zealand. Need a stoppage here. Or short side Ray with Moffat. Big dummy. Nearly threatened them. Boy, Hippie just got back in time. Osborne and sending it to Hennessy. Russell through the middle. Hennessy once again.
Watch his right foot from Hennessy.
Hennessy this time doesn't go for the footwork. Instead finds a little pass there for Norman. Moffat was trying to get on the outside, but wrapped up by Turner. Norman. Now Hennessy. Plays it on the 7. Last one brought up. Hennessy scheming. Hennessy trying to get away from them. Ultimately set upon there by Durban Burgess without firing a shot.
That could be it. It said New Zealand, they love to play off confidence. They scored a try. Now they've gone the defensive set against Australia. Now Barnett with a good run up the touchline. Just stepping over the mark. And Davids. Good secondary drive to follow that up. And Ropati into the action.
Now right on the advantage line. Here they go through Morgan Tafia. Turn to pass for Winiana. Right on the 7 now. Pull out once again here, New Zealand. Giving themselves the time and the space to work with. Last one brought up. Winiana at speed. Oh, wonderful from Winiana. who kept stepping even as he was dropping into the turf. Everybody applauding that one. New Zealand are right back in the contest at 4-3.
We mentioned they're a confidence team. Look at that. Winiana, slide dive, the perfect technique. Has a word to Corey Russell as well on his way past. Oh, yeah, New Zealand, they're back in this. It's only one to split the difference coming up in the final 10 minutes of this one. The gold medal match here at Mudgee, Asia Pacific Touch Cup, lining up for a big one.
Grandstand finish you ordered. It's arrived. Simbolan, he was electric in that first half, being kept under wraps in the second so far. Back to Edwards now. New Zealand pressing. Drop down from Wilton. Back to Simbolan. Has them a little concerned here. Draw and pass. All found Lennon. Excellent touch made in the end there from Davids, who gives him a little spank for what it's worth. Lennon once more floats over the top here into the arms of Assay. Well seen off from New Zealand.
Yeah, you can see that pass. Simbolan just skipped out, giving it to Lennon. I think if he was at 100%, he actually crosses the line. There was no dive. There was no Lennon going aerial, except he just took the pass, casually ran through and got touched. But New Zealand, I feel like they're getting on top now in the second half.
Finch with a good little delivery there as they take more metres. Great carry, E4 Jones, then for Sinclair. Sinclair, pops a pass. Australia nearly reeled it back in. Notley's hurt himself here in trying to pick up the scraps, clutching straight for that shoulder. That's not a good sign for Jake Notley.
Yeah, he did well too. It was in his hands twice. He had it there and then diving out stretched. Yeah, you can see him just get it jammed up there, can't you? The left shoulder. New Zealand now with some good field position and a full set of 6.
In the box seat here, golden opportunity for the Touch Blacks. Ropati threatening to go bang once again off that right foot. Jones there with him. That's a formidable combination. Jones sends it back to the middle here for Winiana. Sinclair on deck as well. Winiana drops it down. Sinclair, quick release. Winiana again! Another wondrous dive. Nearly got underneath him. Osborne just got him by a fingertip there. Millimetres in it. Poihipi back to the middle for Sinclair. Ropati threatening to go bang. E4 Jones, little late switch. Sinclair, Ropati, lovely work for New Zealand. Finch plants it down, and can you believe it? We're all locked up with plenty of time remaining, and Mansour giving a bit of what's work.
Oh, Mansour getting absolutely swarmed by the Kiwis. He loves to dish it out, and how about the hidden pass by E4 Jones, wrapping around Sinclair to Ropati, and look at them swarm Luke Mansour. Oh, he loves a verbal chat, old Mansour, he does. Just giving him a taste of his own medicine. Oh, the Kiwis are right back in this. That draws level. All unanswered tries, 3 of them from New Zealand. The Australian defence possibly looking a bit weakened by New Zealand.
3-1 now in this second half. 2 New Zealand locked up at 4 apiece. Less than 8 to play. We are set up for a great finish here. Langbridge to Jones. Hennessy on the last. Lovely one-handed scoop. Quick release out to that left link position. They stay alive.
Numbers.
Hennessy then finds Jones once again. Oh, Jones went himself. And he'll be denied. But had he had a look at Assay, he was in acres of space, screaming for the ball.
That's really good defence by Turner. Just jamming in on Jones. It was also Pohipi as well. You could see him. He jinked out to Bailey Assay. So Jones actually threw the dummy for himself, then collapsing in. Great defence by New Zealand. As you see Jones just on the outside here, throw his dummy. And Pohipi jinked to Bailey Assay. Yeah, Jones knows it too. But New Zealand unable to complete the set.
E4 Jones then throwing that one over the sideline. Now he marched forward as well, New Zealand. I'm going to say that was intentional, which means great territory now to start the set for the Aussies. Locked up at 4 apiece, approaching the final 6 minutes. Norman skipping, beating 1. Then finding Russell, who sets it up here on the 7. Durban Burgess staying high. They're going to approach him once again. Oh, taken there from Davids, nearly. I think, unfortunately, his own hat was his undoing. The ball came up and whacked it.
Well, he's taken a few good ones, hasn't he, Davids? We've seen him take 2 intercepts throughout the tournament on field 1, streaming away. He's taken one below his knees. He's taken one above his head. Unfortunately, that one looked like it came off his head.
So still locked up at 4 apiece here. Big set for both teams. Lennon testing out the hamstring once again.
Geez, that was close too from Lennon. Great defence by New Zealand, just stepping 1 foot up off the line and making the touch.
Now Russell bouncing around that 7. Davids looking to engage him, so too is Durbin Burgess. Lennon stayed alive in the play. Now takes off to this left-hand side. Shown a couple of times before linking with Norman. Kept alive here for Lennon.
Yeah, that's a wasted touch by Australia. Jinking around, New Zealand up to the task.
Very high press here from New Zealand. Last one brought up. Edwards now ripping a long ball out to Assay. Easily dealt with from Poi Hippie, who shut him down rapidly. So New Zealand growing in confidence with every set. They've brought themselves back into the contest, and now defensively they look sound as well. David's up over halfway. Big bump there.
This is last coming.
Carts it forward now. Sinclair, Jones, back to Sinclair, back to Jones again. They've got Mansour Warri popping it back towards Ropati, and they nearly came up with the go-ahead try.
He thought could have scored himself. He didn't even need to pass it. He could have just dummied and dived for the line. Jeez, great cover defence by Australia in the end. My goodness, the footy from New Zealand. They looked to go open side. I fell for it. The crowd fell for it. And E4 Jones just gives it back on the inside and looks to go long. But Australia now back through Hennessy.
Hennessy taking off. Short delivery here for Simbolan. Set upon very quickly. Sinclair has been up in their faces this entire second half. He's really given it to them.
It seems through touches 3, 4 and 5, New Zealand have so much more flow and fluidity compared to Australia. You see, Australia's very stagnant, but that said, ball down as well. So Australia get a fresh set. No need to go through the first 3 touches.
As Osborne jamming in, rushing out of that link hole. I'm going to say that he didn't have eyes on the ball. Maybe a 50-50 call, certainly favouring the home side though. So less than 4 to go, locked up at 4 apiece. Some nervy moments here in the grandstand for both sets of fans. Moffat works it forward. Hennessy back to Moffat. Taking them on, but seen away by Morgan Tafia, who's been working overtime defensively. Jones. Now Moffat just outside the 7. Hennessy tracking out to this left-hand side. Moffat not liking what he saw. He looked to reset things here.
We're going to get Jones on the sweep.
Here he is wrapping around now. Jones, start a step, then floats a pass for Hennessy. Hennessy, I'll tell you what, if it was 5 years ago, he probably did have the leg speed to get across. Wrapped up here on the last now. 7 away. Jones, nothing doing. A floater back to Hennessy once again. Well, they've got their measure defensively now, New Zealand.
It was open too, wasn't it? Hennessy was in all space, and New Zealand just able to run him down. It was Winiana just caught out of position in the defensive link on the left side. Hennessy had some room to move, but Winiana able to run him down.
And there is Winiana now taking it forward, so less than 3 on the clock. Jones, Barnett, then finding support out wide. Ropati once again takes off. First man was offside, nearly stepped the second.
Wow.
He's saying that I didn't get an advantage because there was a touch made by the offside man. Of course, Kim Skelly then playing the advantage, but he was set upon straight away after that.
Yeah, I agree. I think that should have been a penalty awarded to New Zealand. There was no advantage taken at all. Australia now back on the attack. Here's Chris Lennon into the attack.
Lennon links with Norman. Quick play the ball. Russell, Lennon finding a lovely pass to Edwards once again. Well, Australia got their opening try of this second half in the same fashion. Lennon digging in, a flat bullet ball into Edwards, who then just tips it on to Assay, rinse and repeat.
Jack Edwards could have scored this himself. Look, he's already in the line. All he had to do was just dive. Lovely ball to Assay. And the bullet pass of Chris Lennon, the left to right ball. It's amazing to watch how good he is, even on one leg. Jack Edwards, lovely pop to Bailey Assay. Minute and a half to go here in the second half.
E4 Jones goes directly at them. Geez, he only just got him there, Wilton. What an important touch that was. 7 metres away, New Zealand. Maybe the last roll of the dice here. Ropati linking with Sinclair. That's been the golden combination in the second half, and they haven't played it correctly. It wasn't square. They can't afford that with the situation as it is. They're only going to get one more set. So Australia, one hand on the trophy. The gold medal, close to being dressed around their neck. Moffat, short side right. Oh, Jones was away. I'll tell you what, they didn't need to do that. They could have played a far less risky style and just seen it out with the clock. Instead, New Zealand will have a full set.
This is it. This is the last time New Zealand are going to have a chance to tie it up and send it to extra time, and a penalty there.
Had to be.
They've got to let it go. They've got to let it go.
Here's Finch now carding it for play number 1.
There's plenty of time, 30 seconds. That's more than enough.
Durbin Burgess floated a pass out in front of Winiana, who goes straight away. Tries to squeeze under. There's a lot of noise from the grandstand. They're not going to agree, though. So time is of the essence. 20 seconds remaining. Poi Hippie to Durbin Burgess. Rapati, unfortunately, is not on the field. Jones has a crack and gets there. 10 seconds to go. And the most informed player in the world stands up in the biggest moment. E4 Jones stretches out and locks it up at 5 apiece as the hooter sounds.
E4 Jones sending this to extra time. We've said his name 1,000 times and we'll say it 1,000 times again. It is E4 Jones, the man in the bucket hat, sending this gold medal match here at the Asia Pacific Touch Cup to extra time. We're going to see 4-on-4 and then possibly 3-on-3 from the best athletes in the world here in Mudgee. Let's take a look at some of the replays that led to this. This is a bullet from Chris Lennon out to Jack Edwards and Bailey Assay. That was the one that sent Australia up by 1. This is a close call, but ball was awarded, and E4 Jones, well, again, he's had his hands on everything, hasn't he? Switch on the inside, switch on the outside. It seems like it's the Lennon and E4 show. And a carving copy that one was, wasn't it? And this is it. Take a look at this. Hang it in the Louvre. It is E4 Jones sending things to extra time.
Well, that was exactly what he did to the Emus in the World Cup final a couple of years ago. Those little quick collapses right at the line, stretching out. He won player of the match in a losing effort. He would love to go one better here. Finally get one over the Emus. And if you think we're excited, I can tell you now, Jackson's hopped up on top of the chair. He's going off. So 5-all, we now move to a 4-on-4 situation in the drop-off. Got a couple of minutes to sort things out. If they can't do it then, we're down to 3-on-3, potentially for eternity.
Take a look at the Australian lineup. They've got Mansour on the right edge, Langbridge, Jack Edwards, and on the left touchline, they've got Riley Jones. Can New Zealand hold them out?
They're going with speed, New Zealand. Davids is out there defensively. So E4 Jones, Ropati, both rested at the moment. They'll come on once the ball is in New Zealand's hands. Up very quickly is Morgan Tafia. Good touch made from Hawken. Bit of space now. Oh, trying to squeeze through the middle is Jack Edwards. More than trying. He's come up with the ultimate play. Puts Australia in front 6-5. New Zealand will have a right of reply, though.
Well, it's tough to defend, isn't it? 4-on-4 when you've got the class of Edwards and Riley Jones mucking around in the middle. And Jack Edwards, confident, calm as ever for the Australians. Well, they go one up here. Now New Zealand have right of reply.
What about this for a combination of 4, though? Durbin Burgess, Ropati, Poi Hippie, and now Ropati taking off, draw and pass, links up with Poi Hippie. Beautiful work from Ropati. He's been close to player of the tournament.
It's just a turn of speed, isn't it? Setting up Poi Hippie in the corner. He just jinks outside Norman, can't get there. And Ropati just a skip and a jump, a little jink on the outside, creating the number. And Poi Hippie, well, they hit back, right of reply. There's 45 seconds until the hooter goes, and then it drops to 3-on-3.
Really clever here, too, from the Aussies. They've taken an eternity to get back underway here. They're trying to space it out so that this set will be the last one. By the time we get underway, there's only about 30 seconds left, so very clever work. They'll try and strike late if they do strike at all.
Well, we saw what happened. They ran a splitter, and it was Jack Edwards with the ball, and they're doing the exact same thing again.
Edwards dancing around one defender. Met there, though. 15 seconds to go. Jones working now with Langbridge.
Oh dear, that's fifth and last.
Edwards scheming. Jones now with a bit of speed. Durbin Burgess very quick as well, though. Shuts it down. Big play from Durbin Burgess.
The hooter will go. It's going to drop to 3-on-3, and now New Zealand have the ball. New Zealand have a full set. They can go coast to coast. They've got the speed. Look who's holding it. Barnett. They've got Davids on the inside, and the top of screen is Ropati coming back into the attack.
Barnett straight away trying to use his speed. Oh, in and away. Takes on Notley. Well, you wanted that battle. You've got it now. Davids will then cart it forward. 2 plays down. Jones into the action. Here we go. Ropati threatening to go bang. Jones once again for Ropati. There's the footwork.
That's tackle 3. 4 coming.
Wider still now for Winiana, who set sail for the sideline. Notley trying to rein him back in. Simbolin's there. Or Ropati, if he had let it go, Jones would have probably gone on with it. Now off the foot once again, looking for that late switch here for E4. Jones opens it up. New Zealand's got it. New Zealand will take the gold medal. What a play from Ropati, and it had to be that man. E4 Jones steals it from the Aussies. What a trip they're going to have back over the Tasman, and look what it means to the Touch Blacks.
Well, how special is this? New Zealand making the trek to Mudgee. And what a mark to put on the Australians. A great effort from the entire New Zealand team. Davids embraces. E4 Jones and Ropati making their mark on this game with the late switch. You could see him holding him up. E4 Jones doesn't even need to pass. And a clean try for E4 Jones. Kim Skelly points at the spot. Oh, my heart rate is through the roof. And what a match it was between Australia and New Zealand. Goosebumps all round. Elation from the New Zealand fans. And let the celebrations begin. A gallant effort from Australia. 7 tries to New Zealand, 6 to Australia. Bailey Assay crossing a number of times for the green and gold. As we check out some of the replays, man, he's been outstanding, hasn't he? Ropati, E4 Jones, a lovely floating ball out to Poihipi with a great try in the corner to the open New Zealand's account. Kaisin Boland, he had some great touches as well. Little short pass to Hayden Moffat. That was the equaliser early on, and this is a great setup between Jones and Lennon. Comes off his right foot, scheming, isn't he? Jones, he was good too. Little skip out from Kaisin Boland, and look how vocal he is after he scores this try. Wilton, Simbolan combining with Lennon, again out of that left to right platform. Jack Edwards, as easy as you like. There was a couple of carbon copies of that play. What a game it was by Winiana. Great defensive touches, attacking sets. And Sinclair wrapping around on that occasion. Again, this is the carving copy we're talking about. Lennon from that left to right platform. And my goodness, the man himself in the bucket hat. He needs to sign it and frame it, E4. They need to put that in some museum. That was the first try from Jack Edwards in the drop-off. Ropati sending Poihipi into the corner, and my goodness, check out this. Ropati taking Simbolan short, flicking it on the inside to E4 Jones, and there you have it, sealing the deal. The New Zealand Touch Blacks come away with the gold medal at the Asia Pacific Touch Cup, 7 tries to 6. And James Preston will be doing an interview post-game with one of the Touch Blacks. And look at the elation from New Zealand. And that's all she wrote. We'll cross down to James Preston just after the break.
What a final. New Zealand claiming the gold medal in extra time in the drop-off. I'm here with the man of the moment, E4 Jones. Take me through that last play. Just incredible.
It's been a while. I'm lost for words. I literally don't know what to say. I just give full credit to the boys. Everyone that's worn the jersey before us, everyone that's coached, managed us before this. It doesn't come around very much that you beat the fellas in green and gold, but when you do, it hits different, man. It hits different. To finish like that, could have gone either way, but to finish like that was just a cherry on the top.
What was said at half-time? Because you were struggling at that point, down 3-1, but once you sort of settled things defensively, it all seemed to flow from there, and obviously drew it back to 4-4. There was still a bit of work to be done, but what was said from the coaching staff?
The coaches pretty much just said, empty the tank, believe in the processes and the structures, and the rest of it will take care of itself.
I'm sure there's going to be one heck of a party, not just tonight, but when you get back to New Zealand. It's been a long time between drinks. Coming into this tournament, did you think you could get it done?
I had high hopes, but you never have set the expectations too high. But I knew we were going to give it a good crack. And this is just one extra, I reckon.
Well, E4, congratulations. Awesome performance from yourself and the entire Touch Blacks crew. Congratulations on that gold medal. How good does that sound?
Oh, the best. Thank you very much.
E4, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, ladies and gents, that's a wrap here from Mudgee for the Asia Pacific Opens Touch Cup. Hope you've enjoyed the action over 4 days. It has been incredible. The standard at an all-time high. And, of course, if you are looking for more international action, we're not too far away from the Euro Touch Open over in Vichy in France. That's just a couple of months away. From everybody here as part of the Federation of International Touch, TFA as well, and, of course, all of our travelling contingencies from across the world. It's been wonderful to have you in Mudgee. Thank you a big amount to our Mudgee Council for a wonderful venue, beautiful fields, and really making us feel welcome. Hope you enjoyed all the action across Bar TV. That's a wrap from us here at Mudgee.